What is going on, guys? Today I want to talk about GTA, the 3 games that matter, alright? Well, of course, starting from number 1, which is technically number 3, Grand Theft Auto 3, right? This was a game based in Liberty City, which kind of had the New York City vibes. What a game for the time, alright? And then, of course, going to number 2, which is, in this list, obviously, is this GTA Vice City. Wow! The 80s! The 80s, what a time to be alive and playing in this game, right? A lot of you playing wouldn't have been born in the 80s. I'm an 87 boy, all right? So I'm technically from the 80s, mother effers. I almost swore, which means YouTube wouldn't allow me to monetize this maybe. So, damn you, YouTube. But look, going back to this, right? By the way, the music in this game was the shit. I just swore, but it wasn't as bad as the first word I was going to originally say, right? It was the shit. Such great music, all right? And then, of course, San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. All of these were released on the PlayStation 2, right? This was the first game where you could actually swim, I'm pretty sure, without dying. Even Samuel L. Jackson is in this game, all right? If my memory serves correct. Now, those 3 games I played on this console, my beautiful PlayStation 2. Wow, those games were incredible. The first GTA I ever played was number 3. I never did end up playing number 1 and number 2. They were the 2-dimensional games on the PlayStation 1. It wasn't 3-dimensional. It was kind of like a camera view from up above, down below kind of thing. It is what it is. I would have liked to have played it back then, but didn't get into it. But yeah, 3 was incredible when it first came out, right? The graphics. You know, terrible today, of course, which is why they're doing a remaster kind of thing. But the graphics for the day and the storyline and the freedom to go on these maps and on these islands, open these islands up, right? It was such an amazing time to play these games on the PlayStation 2. So I want to talk about the 3-game trilogy that came on the PlayStation 2. It's obviously getting remastered right now. It's coming out in November sometime. Thanks, Rockstar, but we're still waiting for 6. All right, we're still waiting for the number that matters. All right. If this sounds interesting to you, guys, we're on 2 different channels talking about things every day. Well, this channel at least. Channel 2, and we're also on Channel 1. We make travel films around the world. All right, around the world, around the world. Let's get into it and watch this trailer together, and we'll do a comparison after this. All right, there we go. That's cool. I have seen this trailer before, but I kind of wanted to do a review on camera, right? The reflections, they've got the reflections down now. The colors, incredible. Push it over there a bit more for you guys. Look at the colors, right? So after this is finished, I'm going to do like a frame-by-frame situation. But look at that, right? Awesome. I'm really going to play this. I'm really am going to play this.
Haven't you ever seen a movie?
Have you ever seen a movie? God damn it, we live in one, man. Awesome. So I'm going to go kind of frame by frame. Alright, so starting from here, using my space bar to do the thing. That's the original.
Hello?
Wow. Look at the sunset behind, alright? That's kind of cool. Now, game developers that do too much, can mess up the whole game. We're going to talk about Warcraft 3 in a second, the Frozen Throne. My goodness, the colors do look amazing. I really like that. I'm a train guy. I think that looks kind of cool. Look at the colors. Wow. It does look a lot better, hey? Yep. Vinewood. My goodness. That's cool. That is really cool, hey? This should be an interesting one. Get ready for the reflections on the car bonnet. Wow, that's awesome. The reflections in the wet ground. Now I will say, remove my head for a second. I will say that the characters still look a little bit PlayStation 2-ish, or at least how we remember it looking, right? Obviously, when we go back to these games that we used to play many, many years ago, we remember them to look better than they actually do, right? When we play them, we think, oh shit, it doesn't look that good. Obviously, the story and why we fell in love with these games is still there, right? But when we go back to those original classics, like the graphics just aren't there. We remember it looking better in our minds, right? It's probably a mixture of things, right? One of them being that we're watching it on a big TV, and it just shows the pixels, the triangle pixels looking more triangle-y on these big TVs, right? But going back on it, right? That's awesome. Hang on. The reflections on that car compared to before, and the facial and the body looking, right, situation. Look at the hand, all right? It's kind of basically a box, all right? It's kind of a box. So the hand looks a lot better, yes, but does it look PlayStation 5 next generation-ish? No, but that's the point, right? I think that's good that what they've done. That they've kept the original look to it, at least, like the way that we think it looked back years ago, but obviously it doesn't. It looks terrible, right? But if you get what I'm trying to say, I think it does look good the way they've done it. Obviously, they could have made it look even better than that, but the fact that they haven't is fine with me. It keeps the nostalgic vibe to it, right? That's interesting. That's really cool. Alright, so now that we've had a quick look at that, we'll go to the next thing that I want to talk about. So remakes versus remasters, right? What's the difference between remastered and remake? Well, the differences between remakes and remasters is very slight, but there is differences. All right, now while a remake tends to focus on reworking the technical and performance aspects of a game, a remaster is generally made to look good on newer devices and update the game to different resolutions like HD. So I'm guessing that's what they've done in this case. So it's good that they're doing that, I think. I don't want the original game to be different story-wise and the way, it was, right? Like that, the way you drive the car and the way this and the way that was, right, kind of thing, should be kept the same. The only thing that should be changed is the graphics, right? Which is, I'm pretty sure, what they're doing. But truth be told, though, I mean, they may end up changing, things here and there. All right, who knows? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see, right? Okay, so this is an interesting thing, right? This is a list of video game remakes and remastered ports. I mean, this is Wikipedia, right? And this list is so long that we're going to go slow at first, and then increasingly going faster and faster to a point where your eyes may start to get blurry. If that's true, then look into my beautiful eyes and we'll be beautiful and fresh together. Going even faster now. I mean, wow. They've done a lot of different games, remastered and remakes kind of things, right? We're still going. We're still going. That is crazy. Wow. Wikipedia. Wow. Anyway, next one I want to talk about, right? Is our obsession with video game remakes hurting the potential for new ideas? Now, I'm not going to read any of this, but I think yes and no. Mostly no, though. All right. I think that over the years that have gone by, the game developers have made such truly incredible games that will definitely, story-wise at least, stand the test of time. Obviously, graphical-wise, no. Which is why they're doing remakes and remasters kind of thing, right? But I think to truly appreciate where we're going in our future when it comes to games, to look back every now and then and to appreciate what's come before is important, absolutely, because there are some games out there, like the GTA PlayStation 2 series, right? That did great. They were great games, okay? And obviously, not many people are going to be playing them in their PlayStation 2-y state. All right. I think game developers are still going to be making great games in the future, unique games that haven't come before kind of thing. And that will still happen, right? But it's definitely important to, spruce up what's come before. And I really appreciate Rockstar doing this. I just wish that they'd hurry up and make goddamn number 6 already. All right. Now, am I speaking for everyone at this point? I think I am. All right. That's a pretty resounding yes at this point. But anyway, going to the next one. Video game remakes are better than film remakes. Now, once again, I'm not going to read this, but I'm just going to say my opinion, right? Video game remakes are better than film remakes. Yes, they are. Now, let's say Back to the Future. All right, that was such a great movie series made in the 80s. Okay, if they ever did do a remake on that, it wouldn't be good because it was such a classically loved movie series, right? And the graphics, I mean, we're talking about real life. That's the graphic situation when it comes to movies, right? The only thing that would look terrible as years go by would potentially be the CG. If there's any old movies that are truly loved, the computer generation and the green screen effects of those days would potentially not stand up to the test of time, right? But for the majority, when it comes to movies, right, old movies that we all love, remaking an old movie isn't as popular as remaking an old game because they're basically shot in real life. So, but obviously, when we're talking about games now, games from the 80s and 90s, for example, or the early 2000s, the graphic performance that make up the whole game. The game is made up of pixels and triangles and boxes, all right? For newer generations that haven't played those older games but would love to play that kind of game but not really interested because of the way it looks back in the day, right? I think it's important to remake and remaster some of the old ones because, yeah, the old games were perfect back in the day, story-wise, all right? The way they were just incredible. It's just the pixels that look trashy compared to today, all right? What's also got me thinking, right, is that, games that we look at today on the PlayStation 4 and 5 and the Xbox One and all that kind of thing, right, they look amazing today. But imagine in 20 years' time, right, when we're playing PlayStation 8, it probably wouldn't be the PlayStation 8 because it takes so goddamn long for Microsoft and Sony to get their act together when it comes to new consoles. Calm down, Gareth. Probably be like the PlayStation 6. But anyway, now this is from another article, How Video Game Remakes Do Retro Right and Wrong. Now I'm going to show you some before and after pictures, essentially. That's what I'm just going to show you in this article. Alright, so this is Halo. I'm going to move my head for a second, okay? So this is the remastered version. Now going across like this, we're actually looking at the old classic version, right? And to be honest, the classic version doesn't look all that bad, actually. I might move this a little over here. That way you guys can see a bit better. It doesn't look that bad, right? That's actually pretty good. But yeah, to basically spruce up the graphics, right? Make it look a lot better, so future generations can appreciate what we loved. I mean, that's awesome, right? All right, so going to the next one. All right, guys. So I'm pretty sure this one is Monkey Island 2. I'm going to remove my face so you guys can see this properly. But this is what it used to look like, and it looks like a classic kind of Game Boy game, right? It's okay. It's a Game Boy game. It's what you expect for the day. But I'll remove my face now and I'll show you what it looks like, right? Take a look at that. Wow. Wow. That's really, really cool, right? So we'll scroll backwards and forwards a little more again and again, just so you guys get an idea of what it looks like. I think that they've done a really good job when it comes to this one. It's got the original looking theme, but it looks like a game. It looks like a two-dimensional game that was released yesterday kind of thing. Because, there are games that still stick to that two-dimensional look, and they're still getting released today and forever onwards, hopefully, all right? So that looks really, really good. I really like what they've done there. Now, going to the next one, we've got Halo 2 Classic, and we'll make it a little bigger for you guys. What do you reckon? We'll go across slowly for you. Wow. So yeah, it looks a lot better. It clearly looks a lot better. I used to play Halo a lot, Halo 1 and 2, and I think 3, I can't remember now actually. Oh, do you guys remember that song on the menu of Halo? It was like a humming, godlike sound. I'm really doing a terrible job at it right now. But you guys remember what I'm saying, right? That actually looks really, really good. So yeah, it's revamping a game that was amazing, but for future generations, right? Now, going to this article quickly, 5 best video game remakes of 2020 and 5 worst. Now, there's just one I'm going to talk about, okay? There's one that I'm really going to talk about right now. It's going to be the very last one on the list, which is, as you guys have already heard me say before, Warcraft. All right. Now, I have played this game on and off. Get ready for this. For 20 years. Wow. It's a love-hate relationship with this game at this point. I've played thousands and thousands and thousands of Battle.net online games. Wow. Thanks, Blizzard. You ruined my life, but you made a great game, that's for sure, okay? So Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, and then, of course, Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne. The Frozen Throne was kind of an expansion pack to Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, and I played both of them a lot, but of course, when the expansion came out, I played nothing but the expansion online because, you know, yeah, you still could play Reign of Chaos as well as The Frozen Throne on Battle.net online. But I mean, if you had the money to buy the expansion pack, you were obviously playing online with the expansion pack, right, with the Frozen Throne, because there was just so much more added, including new heroes and new maps and stuff like that, right? But they made Warcraft 3 Reforged, what was it, 2020 roughly? And it was absolutely hated. I've played it. I've played the Reforged, and there's so much missing in the menu system and the chat system and a lot of games and stuff like that. Wow, I mean, I could make a video all about that, right? But I'm trying to keep my mind off of that drug of a game, because it was a drug to me at one point, okay? But, you know, after releasing Warcraft 3 Reforged, there were so many complaints from fans that Blizzard had to offer automatic refunds for whoever bought the game, regardless of the time they spent playing it. Okay, the huge fan base got frustrated by the lack of many multiplayer features promised, all right? Worsened user interface overall, and an art style that sometimes looks worse than the 2002 original. Yeah, when it comes to updating graphics, they completely changed the way things look. They completely changed the way the castle looks. The barracks kind of thing, the towers and the farms, the units. I mean, look, they made the units and everything, the trees and everything looks so much different than the 2002 original. I mean, the original kind of still holds up today. Strangely enough, it kind of still holds up. The game looks pretty good, even today. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because I've played it a lot, and maybe people that have never played it would look at it and think that looks terrible. I don't know. But I've played the game a lot. And when it came to the Reforged game, it just looked like if you put the Reforged unit on one side and the original on the other, you wouldn't know that was supposed to be the same unit in the Reforged game, right? It just looks so different. It looks like something completely different, and I think that's one of the reasons why it wasn't going so well. So I'm kind of liking that Rockstar have pretty much developed, remastered, remade, whatever the word is. They've redone the 3 games that we just talked about, but they've still made them look oldish, right? The age look is still there, but at least you can see the fingers now as opposed to a box hand. Am I making any sense, right? It looks good that they didn't overdo it. Blizzard, unfortunately, went a little too far when it came to the Warcraft, Reforged game. Wasn't well received, all right? Well, anyway, guys, I hope you liked this little conversation about my love of games and, of course, the remaster of these amazing 3 titles. Number 3, Vice City and San Andreas. If you like this video, consider giving us a like and subscribe. We're on Channel 2 and, of course, Channel 1. Do your thing, lads. Do your thing, all right? We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, at TallBoyGareth. I've been Tall. My name's Gareth, and I will see you, lovely ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow. Bye.